How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 18 Chapter 7. This is Season 18 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 7. In this episode we will be talking about how producing a glitch involves deposing the consensual and tearing apart the contractual. In previous episodes, we discussed how to construct a state based upon the conception of a contractual consensuality. In this episode, I would like to discuss what happens when there is no court system, in a society where people are informed about methods of deposing the consensual. To reiterate the material in How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix the Complete series, there are a few ways to defeat conjoined expectation consensual realities. There are a few ways to break contracts formed with reliance by social participants. The first is to artificially create the conditions for expectation matching. Create an expectation in the mind of another, then wait until they exhibit reliance, or action based upon the assumption that that expectation will be met, then violating the contract, deposing the expectation, acting out of context, in a completely contrary way. The end result of such divergent expectation contracts is theft of confidence, or theft of attention, the elimination of deference. Let's say we return to a social exchange between two people. The first is the tonic, the second is the dominant. Now, to produce expectation matching, reliance, is to mirror and then release tension through postural releases, that is acquiesce to the social status of the tonic. These are movements which diffuse social tension. They are distracted, unconscious movements, gestures, such as looking away, or turning away from a perpendicular mirrored position. In groups, this might be as simple as altering the configuration of yourself in the group to deleteriously impact mirroring in the group. Or, it may involve simply standing square with the tonic, not mirroring, not releasing tension, but rather facing the tonic and directing one's attention toward one's intentionality, penetrating, causing self-consciousness in the tonic. Any action which increases the self-consciousness of the tonic has the same effect, such as comments which depose the consensuality of their reality. Actions which are intentionally directed toward pulling out their shadow self, touching on subjects which one recognizes are sensitive to that person, their own personal taboos. These actions create tension, compelling the tonic to become dominant and the dominant, you, the tonic. There are myriad ways to do this. In previous episodes, I talked about the elevator method. In this method, you must learn to identify objects of self-consciousness with your eyes, avoid them, and then at inopportune times, direct yourself toward them. Altering the orientation of objects in a room can have the same effect. Using physical territoriality with respect to objects of commonality, timed with the mirroring of the other, that is when mirroring is greatest, can have the same effect. Planning a complex goal-directed action creates an expectation in the mind of another, by mere fact of their observation, and choosing to act in a contrary way at the last moment completes the same task as acting against expectations. In fact, the entire purpose of the methodology contained in How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix the Complete series, is the destruction of consensuality. Through these techniques, one can fragment reality into many, manifold, distinct layers, relative to others. The purpose of this methodology or praxis is to depose the consensual, making it clear, for those acting upon these techniques, that they are acting against objectivity, mutual consensuality. The purpose of creating a legal framework for consensuality is dialectical to the purpose of how to create a glitch. Likewise, decontextual non-contextuality, the abstraction or exegesis of one's experience, the systemization of one's experience, by uncoupling the tonic and the dominant, is the most effective form of the above. Decontextual non-contextuality and the non-consensual praxis of this method are the pathways towards socially dismantling the common consensual framework that society is built on. In fact, I would say that in challenging the very being of this reality one has become the true revolutionary. Not a revolutionary against a state, but a revolutionary against God himself and the madness that is his creation. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.